So, hi there, Marianne. How are you?
Hi, Shelley.
Good
Great
to see
meeting
you.
you.
Thank you. Good to meet you too. Thanks for coming out today.
Yes.
Really appreciate it. So, how long have you been playing golf?
Oh, now about 2 years.
About 2 years now. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, great. And it's been going good.
Oh,
Enjoying
kind
it?
of. Yeah, enjoying it, but I know I got to work on everything. Drive, chipping,
Yeah.
putting.
You mentioned that you wanted to work on some chipping today, so I set up the station. So, okay.
Yeah, good.
Well, good. So 2 years. Do you know? Are you keeping score? Do you have a handicap established?
Now, just developed a handicap about a month ago.
Okay.
So now I'm finally doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you averaging for 9 holes?
So for 9 holes, it goes between 89 and like today I was able to get an 81.
Okay.
So that
Okay. So is that somewhere between 80 and 90? Is that about average?
Yeah,
okay.
usually in the 80s.
Okay. Okay.
So.
What are your goals?
Oh, actually to go and actually be able to go actually do 18 holes.
Okay.
So, and now because
when you say to do 18 holes, to play 18 holes,
to play
like
18
to have
holes.
the stamina to do that,
Right.
or
yes, to
the
have
time, or what?
The stamina.
Okay.
Because also too because I still again do a lot of strokes with each hole. You're tired after that. So if I can decrease the strokes, then I'll be able to go and would be able to do 18 holes
Just
and
not swinging quite as many times. Okay. All right. So we're shooting anywhere from 80 to 90. Where do you want to be, say, at the end of well, we're kind of towards the end of the year right now, but say maybe a year from now. Have you set a goal for what your target score would be for 9 holes?
Oh, actually, I'd like to be 18 holes by then.
Okay.
And so probably, maybe I guess the 90s would be good.
Okay.
With 18 holes, but I guess with 18.
That might be a little bit
ambitious.
Out of
so
reach.
is 120? That seems
okay.
reasonable?
So about 20 shots.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So eliminate about. Okay. So 120 would be 60 per 9, and you're shooting in the 80s right now.
Okay.
So that's a little bit more than 1 shot per hole.
Okay.
But I mean, if you think about your rounds and think about your shots, are there some opportunities to eliminate maybe 1 to 2 shots per hole?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And when you think about the areas of your game, is this an area that you feel like you struggle with, the short game?
Yeah, sure. Because sometimes I can wind up with, let's say, having to putt about 4 putts, 4 strokes, because it sometimes goes too long or goes past the cup, and so then I sometimes wind up with 4.
Okay, so the distance control. So maybe you have a shot, for instance, this shot here to one of these pins, but then you hit it over the green, and then you have to chip back. So you have a lot of those back and forth shots.
Right.
Okay, and that kind of plays with your psyche a little bit too, right?
Yes.
In your confidence when that happens. So, well, I mean, if you could cut those misses down by 1, I mean, you'd be 18 shots lower right there, right? And if on occasion, if it was 2 shots that you could improve by, I think it's definitely attainable. So, just specifically to today, what goal or what would you like to try to work on today specifically?
Probably some of the chipping.
Okay.
Because sometimes I avoid the chipping if I'm sometimes close to the green.
You avoid it?
I sometimes avoid it.
So what do you use a putter, or what do you do?
Yeah, I sometimes will use the putter.
Okay.
And if I'm a little farther, then I think I have my sand wedge. And so sometimes then I'll use that. And then sometimes I get a good shot, then sometimes it doesn't. It maybe just goes a short distance.
Okay.
I don't get any loft.
Okay.
So it's kind of
Are you
a hit and miss.
unsure when you have a short shot, a chip shot basically, like, within 3 to 5 yards or so off of the green? Do you know what club to hit? Are you unsure about what club to hit? Or is it more technique?
I think it's probably more technique.
More technique, more setup maybe?
Setup.
Not sure exactly.
Yeah, and in terms of setting up in terms of, I guess, with what I'm supposed to be leaning, and then actually it's probably the address and the setup, and then and when that's good, then it gets onto the green, because that would be great too if I can do more chipping onto the green and closer to the pin. That also will cut down on my score.
Right. The closer you get, obviously, the better chance you're going to have of making that and making an up and down. So, yeah, I mean, it's when you talk about setup, it's a lot like the construction of a house, right? I mean, it's if you don't have a good foundation or good setup, then you're not going to have the stability for your swing. So that applies to your full swing, but it also applies to chipping, right? So I really feel like if a person is in a good setup position when they chip, it's really not a difficult shot. But if your setup is off by a little bit, you can get a lot of really bad shots as a result. So yeah, I think we should spend a little bit of time taking a look at your setup today and see if maybe it's just something real simple that would keep us from having those occasional others where we're having to chip and re-chip and all of that. So.
Yeah, and sometimes I kind of forget how to chip.
Okay.
So that's the other thing. I think the only
different.
Time,
it's a different setup than your full swing, right?
Yeah.
It is a different setup.
And I remember you got to lean on the left leg. So that's kind of, and then kind of having the club kind of in that direction or something.
Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah. Well, we'll definitely go over that. So, what do you do? What do you do for a living?
Oh, let's see. I'm retired military. I'm a physician.
Okay.
And so now what I'm looking at is I do leadership development with physicians, and now I'm also developing a program to work with golfers in terms of helping them with health, could say health and wellness, but it's really setting up their energy levels so
great.
That they can have energy to go do 18 holes. So I'm kind of going to be my own my pilot study.
That's great. That's great.
Because I realize it's not that easy.
Yeah.
When you're learning.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it does take some stamina. And okay, well that's great. So it's just going to be a program, like an ongoing program for people.
Yes, for golfers, and working with my physical trainer. And so we're really putting movement in, which is what I realized when I started golfing. I didn't have, let's say, the flexibility for the golf swings.
It's important.
And so it's getting your body ready. For,
so you're working with a trainer right now?
Yes.
Okay. So you work out?
Yes.
How often? A couple
usually
days a week?
About twice a week.
Okay. 2 times a week. Okay, great. Any injuries?
Oh no, just a little muscle soreness now.
Muscle soreness, fatigue. Okay.
Yeah.
But no metal parts or surgeries or anything.
Oh yeah, no.
Doesn't hurt when you hit the golf ball or anything like that. Okay.
Yeah, soreness because I've played. And playing more, and then that way, and actually using the muscles you haven't used before.
The golf muscles are definitely muscles that we don't use for.
That's what I'm developing the program.
Okay, so one of the things that in talking about the body and flexibility and all of that stuff, we want to make sure before we ever hit a golf shot that we're stretching before we play. Do you do some stretching? Before?
Usually the morning I do.
Okay.
Because I have a routine.
Before you come to the golf course?
Before I come to the golf course.
Okay. Do you do anything once you're here?
No, and that's one of my bad habits. So before I play, I know I need to go to the driving range and do some stuff.
And just do a little stretching. Now, for today, I mean, we're just doing short games, so we're not going to be taking full swings, but let's go ahead and I want to show you a couple stretches that you can do so the next time you go to the range, you'll have some things that you can work on. It's just a good idea. I mean, I had an injury a couple of years ago. I was up giving a lesson, and one of my students asked me to hit a shot. I was like, sure. Didn't stretch, and went flat on my back after I took that swing, and my back went out, and it was awful. So since then, I've been really much more conscientious about it, especially with my students. So, so one of the stretches I usually start with is just real simple. I mean, it's just lifting that club up above your head, kind of pushing back just a little bit, get those shoulders kind of flex, loosen up there, and then some just gentle stretches to the right and to the left. Just take it nice and easy. There you go. Good. Kind of gets into the lat muscles.
Yeah, because it's opening up kind of because we're tight here.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And then this is very much like the golf swing. Okay, so we're gonna get into your setup position, and then we're just gonna work on rotation. Right. So we're gonna rotate to the left, and then back to the right. Okay. The left, and then gently back to the right. And then you can take it one step further and go ahead and, if you're on the driving range, right, go ahead and release your right heel, get your toe to turn down, and get your belly to finish at the target. There you go. Okay, so that's very much like the swing, right? Okay, so when you do that, let me help you here. So bend forward. Go ahead and get into your setup. That's it. Put this foot down. There you go. There you go. And then you're going to rotate back through, and then release. That's it. Good. So that's always a good way to start out, just because it really, it's golf muscles, right? Okay, and then I always like to make make sure I do a little bit of neck rotations because that's where I hold all of my tension. I don't know about you, but I always have stiff neck. It seems like.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of realizing myself. That
Yeah.
you have some neck stretch in the morning. I have.
I got in an accident a few years ago, and it just never has been the same since. But so you want to just take your ear and just kind of let it kind of fall down towards your shoulder. You'll probably notice you'll have one side that's a little bit tighter than the other. Another part of the body that I feel like really we need to have increased flexibility is in the hip flexors. So if you do this, just make sure that you have the club for balance. You're just going to take one leg, cross it over, and then kind of sit back. Are these things that you do in the gym a little bit?
Yeah, kind of. And well, you're kind of something. There's something called a Superman and.
Or when you're on the ground?
Stretching. Yeah.
Oh,
and then
Superman. That's a
stretching
hard
it.
one for me.
Yes.
I have a very developed core, I don't think. So that's, oh, yep.
Yeah, because one side is always different than the
And
other.
one side always seems to be a little tighter. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's good. Again, using the club for balance.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't do it without the club. And then, just something like as simple as this. Right? You get some blood flowing to the lower half of the body. There. It's good for your balance too.
Yeah.
Just simple things like standing on one leg for the golf swing. As simple as it sounds,
Yeah, that's right.
it's really good for the golf swing, right? Standing on the right leg, standing on the left, and just holding your balance. Good. Okay, so that's kind of, what I do. If you have other parts of your body that you feel like you might need to gain, flexibility in. I know a lot of people have tight ankles, and so this is something you can do. Really, you can do this sitting in front of the TV at night, right? Because the golf swing is built from the ground up, right?
Right.
So we need to have some flexibility in the feet and the ankles to be able to transfer weight and those types of things. So, kind of a part that we forget sometimes,
Feet, yeah,
right?
we don't.
We forget about the feet sometimes.
And
so.
that's because that's where again we get our balance.
Right, exactly. Okay, well, let's do this. So we're talking about, the short game and your goals. Obviously, your goals to be able to play 18 holes, right? And with that, you want to lower your scoring average, by 20 or so. Now, how many times, if you're think about, a 9-hole round, and I know you just played, but how many shots do you think you, in so many words, wasted because it was short game related? Like maybe you hit the ball and it wasn't, you weren't satisfied with it.
Okay. I don't know,
Think
maybe
about that.
it might have been 10 to 20 or something.
In
Or
those 9 holes?
9 holes.
Okay.
Because sometimes there was a couple of holes where, I wound up putting quite a few, like 4 or so.
Okay,
Because
so it's a little
passed
bit putting too? Okay.
some of putting. And I think fortunately, most of the time, I got the ball close to the green, so I didn't have to really chip.
Okay.
Oh, but I think I did do maybe 1 chip, and then that really turned out well. Got on the green.
Okay, well that's good.
But that's what I probably need to do better, because that way, what I would want to do is with the chipping, get it close to the pin, because then I can putt it. If I use, let's say from here, maybe the putter, what I realize is, I putted, and then it just stopped right there.
You get it on the green, but it's not close enough to make an up and down. And that's something I would encourage you to kind of take a look at is your up and down percentage. So how many times during your round, because you have many opportunities, you're not hitting, it doesn't sound like that many greens, so you have lots of opportunities to hit a chip in one putt, and that's what we term an up and down. Okay, so it would be nice for you to keep track of that, so you go back and say, okay, you know what, I had 9 opportunities and I only got 1, right? And so to go back and look and say, okay, you know what, I need to improve, I need to be better than that percentage, right? Maybe, to kind of look at it. And when you're practicing also, to, play games with yourself. Maybe, pick 9 different shots around the green and go through and actually hit, and then go and putt out and see what your score is, right? So maybe you do that the first time and it's, I don't know, 27 or something, maybe it takes you a chip and 2 putts the first time you go through. Well, the next time, come back and try to 1 better it, right? So that when you're spending some time around the practice green, it's really becoming more like the game of golf, rather than just hitting one ball after another, right? Kind of mix it up. you know, to get yourself in that scoring mode. I think that's how people get better. You know, you want to just make the most of the time that you have. And I know that you work and you travel a lot, so you don't have a whole lot of time probably to devote to practice. But I think if you just structure it a little bit, have that practice a little more structured, you might see that the strokes actually score might actually start coming down. But well, let's do this. Because I do want to take a look at your setup. We mentioned that you're not sure if the setup is right, and if it's not, then that could explain a lot of these other shots that you know seem to happen kind of regularly. But let's do this. I want you to hit 4 shots at that blue pen for me, okay? And I'm not going to say anything right at first.
Okay.
And I just grabbed a club out of your bag, and if you don't have a pitching wedge,
Okay.
that's what you makes me remind me that we could ask you a little bit about the clubs. Were these? They look like they were a box set. Were they fit for you, or did you buy them?
Some of them were fit. Got the putter fit.
Okay.
And also with the sand wedge, got that fit.
Okay. Okay. So the putter and the sandwich.
Sandwich.
Okay. And it looks like you've got a different grip on your. You've got the Super Shark, which is great. I love that putter.
Yeah, I like that much
Awesome.
better too.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So those were the 2.
Okay.
And then the sandwich is a different. Didn't come with that set.
Didn't come with the set. I noticed that. Yeah. You got the
And so,
tailor-made. Okay. ATV. But then the irons and the woods.
Which
look
that all
like they
came with the
match
one
up.
set.
They all came in one set. Okay. Okay. And that's fine. And they're ladies. You know, they're ladies shafts. They're steel shafts. You know, but they look like they're pretty lightweight for steel. So that's, you know, that's good. Eventually, if you play golf for, you know, continue to play the game, you might want to, you know, maybe look at going through an actual club fitting with a certified fitter and get some clubs that are really fit for your swing.
Yeah, because that may be the next thing, because that way again you can prevent injury by having the proper swing and technique.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, yeah, because you will, you know, if you're misfit in a club, it'll cause you to do some things in your swing,
that's right.
to make some adjustments. So it's always good to have, you know, something that's specific for you. But you know, you've got time to do that. So.
Yeah, and that's why I figured learn to play well enough so that then we can choose what the right clubs are going to be.
Exactly. So that's your pitching wedge, okay? And that, you know, I want you to aim for either one of these pens. You've got a white, and then you've got the blue. So it's up to you which one you want to aim for. Just let me know which one it is.
Okay, I'll try the white.
You want to go to the white one? Okay.
The white.
Okay.
So let me.
Sounds great. Yep. Just hit, and like I said, I won't say anything for these first few shots. And then we'll.
So how many do you want me to do?
Just hit 4.
4.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so out of those 4, how many of those were you happy with?
Actually, probably not.
Not real.
Yeah. Because I know the pitch is supposed to come up a little and bounce, and here it was really all straight.
Kind of topped, right? Which sounds like that's kind of the shot that you've been struggling with a little bit. Okay. So I think there's a couple things. First of all, your setup looks pretty good. It's not bad. I think we might want to address your foot position here, okay, and your alignment a little bit. But I think the biggest thing is what's going on with your hands. Yeah, coming through the shot. Okay. So when we chip, we want to have a little bit of an open stance, okay? And what that means, if you're unsure, it's just your body should be aiming a little bit left of the target, okay? But your club face is going to be aiming at the target, okay? So that's good. Okay. Now, if you notice, most of your shots, like you said, you kind of hit the top of them and they took off, you know, a little bit. Most of them went too far. Well, they all went too far. There's an intermediate target that I think we need to get you comfortable with, identifying what that intermediate target is when you're chipping. Okay, so there's some place between you, where your golf ball is, and your target, where the golf ball needs to land and make its first contact with the green, with the surface, because it's going to roll out, right? The ball doesn't hit the green and then just stop, right? So I think we need to work a little bit on identifying what is that intermediate target, right? And with your pitching wedge, a good rule of thumb, it's about 1/3 carry and about 2/3. I'm giving a video lesson right now.
Rollout ratio right there. That's what that is.
Yeah, so what I need to do is have you, we'll identify that, it's 1/3 carry and then 2/3 in the air. Okay, so if you're looking at that space, right, you're going to have to identify where that is, right? And kind of ballpark it. Some people can get real sophisticated.
Yeah, because I think there's a little spot there that I can.
Right.
There.
You can, okay. And you can always do something like this, right? Everybody has a towel. You can throw a towel down, or one better.
Oh, that's an idea.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm doing a training video, so I can't, it's all good. We need to catch up though.
I just want to say thank you. So, did you watch that slow motion?
Yes, yeah.
I've never seen that good. That is,
she's
not
looking
hit
really
me
good.
yet, but
Yes, yeah, absolutely. We'll visit. I was going to call you. Okay. All right, so you're going to get your weight. Yep, you look good there. Yep, your weight is forward. That's good. Okay, now let's check your clip face position.
Okay, now is it supposed to be?
Remember, this is your intermediate target. That's where you're trying to land it. Okay. Okay, it's okay. All right. So we said we were going to talk about the hands, okay? You need less hands when you chip, okay? So it looks like what's happening is you're kind of trying to help the ball into the air with your hands, okay? Instead of just letting the club do the work.
Yeah, because that's where I was going that way.
You're kind of stopping and then, just kind of flipping it with your hands. There you go. So you're back and forward. Back and forward. So you've created a little V there between your arms and your shoulders. You see that?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Now, I can see that. This one's kind of bent. Is that supposed to be that way, or?
Choke down just a little bit. It's just your clubs are a little bit long. Okay. So that's where that whole club fitting thing would help. There you go. Get something a little shorter. That's it. Okay, so yes, this relationship here needs to remain constant. Okay. So you don't want to have a bow in your hands like that. You're exactly right. Okay.
So I wanted.
Okay. So tell me about this. What's your sensation here?
Yeah, it's, I guess, kind of awkward because I'm not used to it, I think. But I can, one of my other things I do sometimes stop once I hit the ball, and I need to go do the follow through. But, and I guess keeping the arms straight too.
Are you able to feel that?
Do
Do you know what your learning style is? Are you more of a feel? Do you
Yeah.
learn by feel, or are you more of a visual learner?
Both.
You're both.
Visual, then tell me what needs to be done, and then feeling it.
Okay.
Because eventually it has to be the feel in the doing.
I do think you have to feel it. Yeah, absolutely. Okay,
Okay.
so you feel that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's like we're just kind of rocking back and we're rocking
Back and
through,
forth.
right? We're not trying to help the ball into the air, right? We're
No.
just allowing the golf club, which has probably 48 degrees worth of loft, we're just letting that golf club lift the ball, okay? So golf is counterintuitive because your instincts are telling you to try to help it into the air. Okay?
Yes.
You don't want to try to help the ball into the air. You want to let this golf club
Just
swing
go
back and swing
forward.
through, right? And if you do that, the ball's going to naturally rise. It's when you try to help it, right, and you scoop it, what happens is your club kind of bottoms out, and then you catch it on the upswing, and you end up hitting the ball way down here on the bottom.
I think that's what I've been having to do.
Instead of on the center of the club. If you
there.
notice, you don't have a lot of marks on the front, right? They're kind of low. So, okay, there we go. All right, so your setup is good. Your weight's here. That's it. Okay, we're just going to move the shoulders back and move the shoulders through. Back and through. Okay.
I think that,
So you notice how you took it back here and then you stopped right at the ball? Okay. Now, notice where the club head is now when you finish.
Up. Oh, okay.
Okay. So we don't want to go here and then stop. Just keep it flowing. Keep it moving. There you go. Back and through. So right now we have the stick down, right? And it about represents the distance or the length of your backswing and your follow through. It just kind of works out for this shot. So, you know, when you're here, you might just think about taking it back here, maybe just a little bit short of the stick here. But more importantly, is a little bit of a follow through and don't stop and flip. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Different. Huh? Yeah.
I was wondering, because that's what I was doing. I was helping it like this.
Right.
I remember
You were scooping it.
scooping it because I forget when you that. Okay, well, let's try that
So the contact is what I noticed. I don't know what you noticed, but well, I noticed the sound, right?
The sound is what I noticed.
The sound is different, right? When you hit it solid, when you hit the ball, when the ball hits the center of the face versus this, right? The sound is different. Okay, so those were good in the sense that the contact was better, right? Now we didn't necessarily hit our intermediate spot because we still threw the ball a little bit too far. But the ball didn't go nearly as far as it did earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to get it into that little hole, then I just don't do such a
Exactly.
Okay,
A little
so
bit shorter.
shorter.
A little bit shorter going back.
Let's see.
So we're equalizing the backswing and the follow through, right? So if you take it back
I should
a
probably
foot and a half,
Oh, okay.
then you want to follow through the
there.
same distance. It's kind of like a pendulum, right?
Okay.
There you go. That's it. Good.
So
Exactly. That
so
was
here.
better. That was closer. Hey, we're within 10 feet now.
Okay. Yeah, it hit it almost.
It did.
At
Yeah.
least in terms of the direction.
Right. It almost you almost landed in there. So we have a little bit of sand on our greens right now, so the ball's kind of shooting off just because of the greens still being a little fresh after aerification. But had the greens been a little more healthy, I think that ball would have been a lot closer.
Closer. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes I've noticed they got the fast greens.
Right. Oh yeah, the greens definitely have some speed.
So let's see. So here, don't have to go that far. And so maybe, yeah, that's also what I need to do is that if I don't need to do too far, you have a little swing, and then when I want that.
The
then
longer the shot that you're hitting, the longer the swing needs to be, right? Exactly. Exactly. And also, right, those drop points, right? If it's a longer shot, obviously the drop point's going to be further from you than it is right here. But, you know, here we've got a target that's pretty close to us.
Oh, I stopped.
You did. Yeah. Okay.
That's one of my tendencies.
That's okay. That's okay. Use your practice swing kind of as a...
Oh, yeah, I think I still, but I think then I did a little, but I didn't do
little
this.
bit, but the
that's
result?
bad. Yeah, the result
Okay,
is still
so
good.
our last three balls have substantially closer. Now, not up and down close. Okay, I want you to keep an eye on your clip face because it's aiming a little bit. There you go.
Oh, so I have to make it perpendicular.
Yeah. So go ahead and get square. Get a little bit more square to the white stick. Okay, because you're kind of closing your stance. There you go. Okay, now just drop your club down. Make sure the club face is square. So it was kind of drifting just a
okay,
little
so I
bit
need to
there.
have it that.
Yeah, not close, but
okay.
right there. That's it,
Okay.
right there. Okay, your weight so forward. Good. Just back and through. Make sure you have a little follow
yeah, that
through.
way, did follow through, but
Yeah, that's okay. Much better.
Okay, that was better.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So much better. So much better. Okay, so you just got to keep working on it, right?
And then have, as you said, the follow through of really kind of going through
Well,
that.
part of it I think is your backswing was real long, right? So you were taking it back, and when you took it away, I'm thinking, oh gosh, are we going to hit it on the cart barn over there? Right? It looked like a really big backswing, right?
Yeah.
And so what happens is you're taking it back so far, and then you're having to almost like stop because your body was just reacting to the fact that the club was taken back too far, right? Instead of just
Still a
taking
little
it back here and here, right? And you need a little longer shot. We take it here,
Here, and
here.
that too.
And if it's a little longer, here, here. Okay, good.
Yeah, because that's what I was doing with the chipping. I really was stopping at the ball.
Right.
I could.
Yep. You were stopping because your body was sensing that it was too big at the same minute. Swing at it, but you know, sometimes it's just a subconscious thing,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
But if you would have swung through, it probably would have been a solid shot, but it wouldn't have been anywhere near your target. Right.
Yeah,
So
far.
I would invest in some of these rings if you want to. You could also just throw a towel down, right? So you're working on finding that drop point, identifying where it is, and remember it's 1/3 carry, 2/3 roll. Okay, with your wedge. It's going to change with the other clubs.
Okay.
you
And it's
know.
usually better to just do with the wedge.
I would, for
with the
right
wedge?
now,
Yeah.
for right now, I would encourage you just to stick with the wedge
Mhm.
until you figure out some things. Eventually, you might decide that you want to chip a little bit with your 8-iron, maybe a 9-iron,
Mhm.
and then you would have to adjust your drop points because those clubs have less loft.
What about the sand wedge?
The sand wedge really is going to be more for pitching, right? When you need to hit the ball in the air. Here, we don't really need to hit the ball that high. We just
okay.
basically need to get the ball high enough to fly and hit the surface, and then
So I just use my pitching wedge.
Right.
Oh, because I was using the sand wedge.
Oh,
That
okay.
may be the other
Could
problem.
have been part of it.
Part of
yeah.
it, too.
Yeah,
So,
but
okay,
the setup's
that's
not going
good.
to change. You're going to do the same setup
Setup.
for whatever shot you have around the green.
Mhm.
And your setup, like I said, your setup was pretty good. It was just you were just a little long.
Yeah,
Right? So
yeah.
shorten it up.
And not doing the follow through.
Right, and so that you can follow through. And remember, equalize it back and through. It's like a pendulum, right? It's going to go back and it's going to go through. And just keep your rhythm, okay? And then, like I said, practice with a towel down, practice with a ring. You could even put a coin down, but something so you start recognizing where the intermediate target is, right? Because if you're solely focused on the pin,
Mhm.
you kind of react to the pin, right?
Yeah.
You're not reacting to the intermediate spot.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Because and then you may go and then it'll bounce by the pin and then roll.
Absolutely. So start keeping track of your up and downs. Keep, see how many, if we can eliminate, like I said, one, our goal's one, right? 1 to 2 per hole. I think you're going to be really pleased with the result if you can, just spend a little bit more time in this part of your game.
Yeah, because if I'm able to chip more and getting it on the green, and getting it closer,
Right.
then I don't have to worry about as much in terms of the putting. Because if I can get it closer to the hole, then
Take so much pressure off.
Yeah.
So much pressure. So. Well, great. We'll stay in touch.
Can I get your email?
Yeah, MORZECH
Okay.
at ATT.net.
Okay, perfect. I will send you a summary of today's lesson.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you so
Marianne.
much.